Hello and welcome to part two of Velocity's Education Ecosystem event. My name is Ollie Henderson and welcome back to everyone who was able to join us last week when we heard from some great panelists from both the education and employment side of our membership. If you did miss it, you can go to the Velocity website and find a recording of the session. So in a moment, I'm going to talk you through what's going to be happening today, because last week we covered why the work of Velocity is so important to the education and employment sectors. Today's very much about how. So how Velocity members are working on the network to build solutions to common problems that are going to create new opportunities for individuals and organizations. But before we do that, and the good news here today is that we've got some fantastic sessions. The bad news is I don't have very long to introduce everyone to you. So I'm going to quickly whip through a bit of context for you and explain why so many members are joining the Velocity Network to help solve these problems and build these live use cases. So to do that, I'm just going to run through a very quick presentation. So the reason the Velocity Network exists is this broken data layer. The data layer underlying the global labour and education market is something from the past. It's a relic. And when you think about it, we're in 2023 and yet we're still using 20th century techniques to be able to verify whether someone is who they say they are and they have the credentials they say they have. And of course, there's many different variables on both sides of the equation here and many intermediaries in between. And unfortunately, while many of them do create value, it's doing it at a cost, a significant financial cost, and also a cost of speed. It's a much slower process than it could be if we're able to use the technology which the Velocity Network has created. So what's the alternative? Well, we can make an analogy with something we're all very familiar with. If you think about the internet, it's changed every aspect of our lives. It's fundamentally transformed the way that we work, socialize, create, share information, and organize the flow of people, ideas, and things. And what made it so successful is that it's open, non-proprietary public utility. And that's exactly what was needed in the job market. And that's why we talk about the Velocity Network as the Internet of Careers. It's a utility layer that no single entity controls, yet anyone can use. It's a public infrastructure, a purpose-built protocol and blockchain network for education and career credentials. The network is designed for easy integration by any software vendor or solution provider, and the decentralized protocol, the blockchain network, and the developer-ready APIs were all built with an open source framework. The Velocity Network's a public utility ready to support use cases across the global labour and education market. And that's what you're going to hear more about today. So our first keynote comes from Bill Hughes, President and CEO of Education Design Lab. Bill's got a unique perspective on higher education and technological innovation, having worked in startups and in leadership roles at organizations like Pearson, Sapient, and Mercer. Bill reacted enthusiastically when he first learned of Velocity Network and its parallels to the internet. So we're really delighted that he's going to be speaking to us today. Then we're going to have a series of demos from Velocity members. First, we'll hear from Shrikant of Greenlight Credentials, who'll walk us through the credentialing journey from K-12 through to college and employment. We often talk about the problem of self-reported career data on resumes here at Velocity, which affects employers' trust in candidates. So we're pleased to hear two use cases today that help tackle that problem. Talview CEO Sanjoe will explain how verifiable digital credentials fit into assessment and skills, before Ian Davidson from Smart Resume talks about integrating their application to receive verifiable credentials to then match individuals with jobs, apply analytics, and provide deeper insights about candidates. Ian also addresses one critical challenge many of you will be facing: avoiding having to make multiple integrations with different credentialing partners. Only an open common protocol will make the credentialing ecosystem work like the internet, and that's exactly what Velocity has created. Kike from Nuevosmedios will then show where learning management systems fit in and explain how they've been able to quickly create the world's first Spanish language career wallet enabled by Velocity. Sertifier have been an important contributor to the Velocity community, including contributing code for the recently released Node.js wallet. Their CEO Arda will explain how verifiable credentials improve cross-border mobility. And our final demo comes on a subject I know is important to many of you watching. Deb Everhart of Credential Engine will discuss the importance of semantic interoperability and how Velocity Network supports this. To wrap things up, we'll have our second keynote from Beyond Academics, Matt Alex, who will explain how colleges and institutions need to modernize and why the time for verifiable credentials is now. Finally, you'll hear from the head of Velocity's education ecosystem, Naomi Szekeres. And that's enough from me. Over to you, Bill.
Hi, I'm Bill Hughes, President and CEO of Education Design Lab. I'm grateful to get a chance to participate in this launch of Velocity Network into the education cluster. I'd like to talk a little bit about the need for an open credential network. We at the lab co-design transformative solutions in collaboration with community colleges and their regional partners that center the learner-earner, resulting in increased access to economic opportunity by connecting that ecosystem together around that learner and their journey towards quality jobs and careers. We believe that everyone deserves a chance to live our best lives, but for too many, the paths to opportunity are out of reach. And the problem that we see is that this chaotic learn and work ecosystem has a set of market failures, which result in barriers that systematically disadvantage the majority of US talent. And that locks them out of economic opportunity, which would benefit them and our economy and society at large. The traditional degree credential specifically has a number of barriers for this, what we call new majority learner, the adult without degree. First of all, that opportunity seeker is locked out of most quality jobs because they don't have the right credential. When they go back to school to get a degree, we're putting them back into the system that has not worked for them in the past. So they end up without credentials that are useful in the marketplace, maybe as little as a high school diploma. This means that they never really get a chance to show what they can do. And employers end up having many great jobs going unfulfilled. So we envision a shift, and it's already happening, from a world where traditional degrees matter to a world where skills matter. So let's talk a little bit about this shift to skills. The traditional model of higher education produces the time-based credential. We think about it based on the Carnegie unit, as opposed to a skills-based credential, where the time-based credential is focused on institution-specific requirements and is proprietary to that school. The future model is skills-based, personalized, and open. Why is this important? Well, one key issue is that with the time-based credential, colleges and their incentives are misaligned with learners and employers, because the more time someone spends in a time-based credential, that's good for a college in terms of enrollments and their business model. However, for learners and employers, more time is only taking away from that value. However, in a skills-based credential model, the more skills, the more benefits for everyone involved, for the learner, for the college, for the employer. And that aligns all of their incentives. And this is one of the reasons we believe that the shift is going to only accelerate. We have focused our efforts in one of our flagship programs, the Micro Pathways program, which co-designs stackable credential programs for the rapidly changing knowledge economy, enabling schools to align their programs with in-demand jobs. Some of the key design criteria for these are affordability for the learner, Flexibility, so they can start, stop, and stack the way that they need to. Relevance, in terms of being aligned with jobs and careers in their region. Portability, so that they can stack from various sources the different skills and abilities that they need. And visibility, so that an employer can discover them and they can discover employment opportunities. We believe there's an opportunity to connect the dots across the learn and work ecosystem, from the colleges, which offer skills-based credentials, shown on the left, to employers managing a skills-based hiring and advancement process, ranging from applicant tracking systems all the way into their talent systems on the right. In the middle is a learning and employment record, which is one of the key artifacts in a digital credentials infrastructure. That's the kind of infrastructure that Velocity Networks can power. The lab's work depends on such an infrastructure. The work that we do with micropathways is dependent upon digitally discoverable, stackable credentials and credential programs. We use Credential Engine to codify the skills and the progressions in that pathway. But it's important for those, once someone earns that credential, for it to go somewhere where it can be discovered. Our work with 21st century skills and skill validators allows for adults without degrees to have their human skills visible: project management, empathy, collaboration, critical thinking. These are all things that are assumed about college graduates that are often not assumed about those without a degree. So being able to allow these adults without degrees to demonstrate what they can do and the human skills they develop is vital and really valuable to employers with whom we have co-developed these 9 21st century skills. And then third, our T3 Innovation Network project this year, supported by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation, allowed us to oversee a project with several organizations innovating AI-powered skills-based solutions for navigation, hiring, and advancement, which benefited incumbent workers, veterans, justice-impacted learners, college alumni, and skilled but unemployed people. Each of these was a separate use case with very diverse interests, and the ability to rapidly build applications unique to those audiences was enabled by the digital credential infrastructure we were able to use. Velocity's infrastructure gives promise for us to have an open OS for skills. It has a few key characteristics to make that work. One is open source and shared governance that unlocks broad cooperation and collaboration across vendors and other innovators. Another is a common protocol for credentials that enables innovation in the learn and work solution space, so that apps can be built as easily and in such a varied way as they are on the mobile phones that we have today. A third is a distributed personalized ownership model using technology such as blockchain for credential wallets that provide a user safety and control around their personal data. Fourth is a verifiable credential model that builds employer trust. And finally, fair and equitable business model that enables this platform and infrastructure to be sustainable in the long run. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share with you and engage with you today. Have a terrific conference and a great day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shrikant Jannu. So today I want to quickly present to you a little bit of information on my company called Greenlight Credentials. I'm the Chief Platform Officer for Greenlight Credentials. We are based in Dallas, Texas. The primary focus of my company is to connect students to educational opportunities, employment opportunities, scholarship opportunities by removing the friction in their pathway to educational and career success. And we do that by issuing or allowing the partner educational institutions that we work with to issue verifiable credentials. We've been in business for about 5 years now. We've issued over 1 million credentials. About 300,000 active users are using our platform. Over 500 employers have posted jobs and hired students from the Greenlight platform. So over the last couple of years, we've formed a great partnership with Velocity Network Foundation that has made it even simpler and easier for us to issue verifiable credentials, and for the credential earners at our partner institutions to have access to them 24/7 in their mobile wallet application. And so I want to next show you a quick demo of the mobile wallet application. So what you're seeing now on the screen is our Greenlight Credential Wallet application. It's available in the iOS and Android app stores to students at our partner institutions. So the way it's laid out is you can see the goals of our company are easy to understand by the layout of the application. As I mentioned, we want to connect students to employment, educational, and scholarship opportunities. And they do that through access to their academic and work credentials. So if I click on academic and work credentials, you will see a student or an earner has access to everything that they need, which could be like their official transcripts, their certificates, badges, recommendation letters, self-uploaded documents. So there's a lot of different types of documents here, and the earner can simply share it with the college or university by selecting the name of the university or typing the email address of the recipient. And the receiver can instantly verify the authenticity of these documents. And in addition to that, we want to make it easy to have access to what type of jobs are available out there. So we partner with employers to have internships or apprenticeships posted for students at our partner institutions. So you can see here, students at our partner institution have access to all sorts of internships. They have access to information about different career fairs and so on. Also, they have an option to view and upload different resumes that they may have created, set their employment preferences, and so on. Similarly, we connect them to academic institutions who can post information on their career fairs or transfer fairs or admissions fairs. And students who are interested can indicate their interest from within the application. Scholarship providers can post information on scholarships that they want to make sure that the students are aware of. And the students can view the information on the scholarship and apply from the Greenlight platform, which takes them directly to the scholarship provider's website. So this was a very high-level, quick 10,000-foot overview of the Greenlight Credentials platform and the mobile wallet. If anyone is interested, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is Shrikant, SHRIKNT, at glcredentials.com. Thank you and have a nice day.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sanjoe José, CEO and co-founder of Talview, an AI-powered talent measurement platform, which provides hiring and remote exam delivery solutions for some of the largest universities as well as employers across the globe. Today, I'm going to talk about how Talview's graduate hiring solution is powered by Velocity's verified credentials, enabling us to create a bridge between employers and students for a much faster onboarding into the job market. We have been working in the industry for the last 7 years with some of the largest organizations, including universities like University of Cambridge, Eastern Washington University, La Trobe University in Australia, Singapore Polytechnic, and many leading school districts, as well as a lot of e-learning providers. And we have won awards like the Best HR Product Award at the recent HR Tech Show in Vegas. Talview's mission is to provide a level playing field for every individual to build the best career for themselves. And this is really superpowered now by Velocity's credentials, which is solving a key issue in the graduate hiring market. So if you look at the educational credentialing today, we believe it's unfit for the digital age where only about 20% of credentials are instantly verifiable. So what that means is every time an employer is considering hiring someone, they need to perform a manual verification of the credentials of the candidate post the offer. And that adds to significant delay as well as wastage of resources in enabling these individuals to enter the job market. The Talview advantage, which has been significantly beneficial for many of our customers, is the ability to instantly verify blockchain-based credentials powered by Velocity Career Network. Our solution allows universities to issue credentials directly from Talview once they sign up or register with the Velocity Network Foundation. And this has enabled a use case of streamlined hiring with authentic credentials and really empowering students in their job search process. So how does this really work? The process starts with students registering on Talview and choosing a job, subsequent to which they are undergoing evaluations, typically skill assessments or assessments for behavioral competencies. And in parallel, what would happen is universities would get a notification that one of their students is undergoing an assessment process on Talview, and they can register on Velocity Network Foundation for them to issue credentials to the students on blockchain via Talview. So once the college is registered, they can start issuing credentials for that particular student. And the student would then have the ability to accept these credentials and make those part of their profile from Talview or from the Velocity app. Once that happens, then the employers get access to these credentials along with the assessment performance of these students who have taken these exams, and they're able to easily shortlist students on the Talview platform while knowing that everything which they're looking at from a credential and assessment performance standpoint, which is again validated by Talview's remote proctoring, is authentic, and they don't need to do post offer review or verification of these. Once they shortlist students, they are invited for a virtual interview process on Talview's platform. And once they complete the process, they are immediately given offers because they've already verified all this information which the students have submitted on the platform. That's all today. You can access this deck as well as other resources on how Talview is enabling this integration, along with other very informational videos about the entire process by scanning this QR code. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ian Davidson, and I'm the Chief Growth Officer of Smart Resume. Smart Resume has two big audacious goals, right? The first is that we want to make making a great resume easy because, frankly, it's very hard. First, you have to have some training and exposure in kind of what recruiters are looking for, how to reverse engineer that. But more importantly, you also know what you have to know what they're looking for that you have, and maybe even things that you have that they don't know that they're looking for. And in the skills-based hiring world, you have to be able to communicate that in the language of skills, something that very few people are comfortable or capable of doing. So we want to take learning and employment record data and provide that to people in a way that starts to give some of those answers and bring it into the resume format so that they don't have to do as much creating. They don't have to have as much self-awareness. They can actually just shape the data and then build around it. We think that is what will actually make making a great resume easy. Next, we want to power skills-based talent communities. So any organization that wants to connect a bunch of people who they have credentialed and certified and help market themselves with employers who want to hire them, that we want to provide a technology platform that makes doing so incredibly easy. That is what we're working on in Smart Resume. And we'll talk about how we do that and how the Velocity Network is a part of those plans. And the first is that we have a tool. The tool is a resume that has multiple layers. This isn't your paper resume, right? It has a layer that makes it really easy for a human, a hiring manager, a recruiter to understand what someone can bring to the table, but also drill down and get more information than you've ever been able to get from resumes. So drill down into verifiable data, drill down into skills data, drill down into artifacts and evidence of what this person can do. We want to make it possible for institutions to fuel people with that type of information so that they can deploy it within this format that people understand. Everyone knows how the resume works for the most part. This is what it looks like. It's a combination of self-attested information in traditional form plus verifiable credentials combined into an easy to understand, process, and digest format, which is really how you make it easy for employers to participate in these types of ecosystems. We also have network tools that allow employers to go in and say, show me people who have these skills or these credentials or these keywords on their resume. Show me people who have this exact certification from this exact issuer that's been verified, who are actively looking for work within 25 miles of my location. That's what a talent network is. And when you bring in learning and employment record data into it, these talent networks become more powerful. This product is designed for the future of skills-based hiring. It's designed to obfuscate information that can lead to unconscious bias being applied to hiring decisions. And now with talent communities, it's been put in a format that any organization can launch without having to invest heavily in technology. We've studied the ecosystem of OERs and are amazed at how many players are involved. What you're seeing here in the background is the SMART report. You can download that on our website. But what we did is we organized and started looking at all of the different parts of this ecosystem, from the different types of issuers to the technologies they use to create credentials, to the technologies that make those credentials portable and how they're being consumed. We found a couple of things. One, it's incredibly complex. There's a lot of players. Two, it's not being consumed like we all think it should be. So we're building a tool that really focuses on the consumption of this data in the context of hiring, and then have evolved our strategy of how we bring that data into the platform. Originally, we went out and we worked with post-secondary institutions. We worked with training institutions. We helped them turn data that they had into credentials. We did that 10, 20, 30 times. And we said, wait a second, that's going to be tough to scale because there are so many people doing this. So then we started partnering with credential wallets and credential issuing platforms who were doing that work, and form great partnerships with them to help them convert that data into the Smart Resume product. With Velocity Network, we are going to be able to go one step further and be able to work with all the many of the types of organizations that we want to, without having to always go direct and set up the integrations. We'll be able to access data through the Velocity Network. And the more places we can access data, the more powerful these resumes become. It's all about reducing friction. That's what Velocity Network does, and that's what we do with employers. Want to verify a piece of information? Do it with a click. Do it in a traditional format that you're very comfortable with, but that just got a lot better. Job seekers want to apply to jobs? You don't need to worry about the technology that is being used. Convert it into a PDF. Use what's comfortable, use what's familiar. Get it through the existing technology systems that will grow and evolve over time to get better and smarter about credential data. But let's make it work in today's environments. So that's what we're working on, reducing friction wherever we can so that better resumes are being consumed by decision makers. On the other side of that, Velocity can help too. They can help us integrate with credential wallets, employers, HR tech systems, and tech stacks. Of course, we're going to participate whenever we can to create value because the flow of data is key, and Velocity Network is part of our strategy. Thank you so much. Again, Ian Davidson, Parent company of Smart Resume is Identify. I'm Ian at Identify, and I really appreciate the opportunity to present today.
My name is Enrique José Peña. I am the CTO of Nuevosmedios, a Colombian company specialized in the development and implementation of educational technology. Today, I'm going to tell you about our knowledge management and digital credentials ecosystem and how users of our LXP, called KME360, obtain their digital credentials in our bilingual digital wallet called Noki, and how they share them with third parties who can verify them. All these within our knowledge management ecosystem. KME360 is a platform designed to manage knowledge transfer at the individual and organizational levels. We have 43 integrated applications, all customizable and easy to use. Our solution, which has served more than 53 million educational experiences, is aimed at a wide range of public, including companies large and small in any sector who need to train their staff, keep them informed, and improve their skills, while fully tracking their training progress. Educational institutions seeking to offer online courses, manage their curricular content, and track student performance. Nonprofit organizations that want to provide training to their staff and volunteers, as well as offer educational resources to the community. Professionals who provide training services, such as trainers, consultants, and speakers, to create and deliver online courses to their clients. And associations that seek to provide professional development and certifications to their members. In a world where training and updating are essential to access better job opportunities, we have decided to go one step further. We complement the certification and recognition module of our LXP by converting our courses, certificates, and badges into immutable digital credentials. This increases and makes it easier for users' learning to be demonstrated and shared with third parties outside the world of their LXP campus, offering them greater and better opportunities and possibilities in their professional and work life. This allows our customers and users to access the opportunities opened with Velocity Networks Foundation immutable digital credentials, all in a simple, fast, and easy way. How does it work? Users enroll on our platform, and when they complete their courses or earn their certifications and badges, they will receive a push notification on Noki that they have a digital credential offer. Once they accept it, they will be able to view it and share it through Noki. Noki is the place where they can store and share their life achievements from study certificates to their work experience, recommendations, and badges they have earned. Additionally, by sharing the credentials with third parties through a link or a QR code generated directly from Noki, other people will be able to share credentials on the Noki website in various formats, according to the type of credentials and according to the issuer's approved customization. Likewise, they can also choose to verify the credentials against the Velocity blockchain and receive the results easily and directly on the web, closing the circle from the source from where the offer for the credential is born until it is shared with the world, boosting the Internet of Careers. We have also been actively seeking exciting ventures with the Colombian government, gearing up to securely manage essential legal documents via Noki, our wallet system. Also partnering with esteemed universities and businesses, we aim to streamline ID issuance for employees while assisting services companies in easily verifying their valid contractors. We will continue to grow Noki users with relevant and easy-to-use solutions, contributing to the globalized vision of the Internet of Careers. This is just the beginning. We're ready to embrace fresh possibilities. Don't hesitate to reach out if you believe we can help you in any specific requirement that you might have. We're here to make it happen. Feel free to get in touch with us at your convenience. We're eagerly awaiting to help you. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, I'm Arda, CEO of Sertifier, a tech firm specializing in smart certificates and digital wallets. Today, we will explore digital credentialing and its impact on cross-border mobility. Sertifier makes credentialing easy and secure. Our verified wallet allows users to manage and share their credentials effortlessly, bridging the gap in global credential verification. We have grown significantly with over 1,600 clients, issuing 9.5 million credentials and extending our reach to 82 countries. Our impact is broad and expanding. Cross-border mobility faces hurdles, lack of standardization, time-consuming verification, and fraud risks. A unified approach to credential verification is crucial for a globalized world. Digital credentialing streamlines verification, enhances trust, and promotes global recognition of credentials. It's a game changer in the education and employment sectors. Our solution, Verified Wallet, simplifies digital credentialing management. By utilizing Velocity's infrastructure, we ensure secure, verifiable credentials, facilitating cross-border mobility. With Verified, claiming credentials is a straightforward process. Users are promptly notified when new credentials are issued to them. The process is intuitive, guiding users step by step on how to claim their credentials securely into their wallets. The immediate notifications ensure users are always updated and on status of their credentials, fostering a proactive approach to managing their digital identities. The secure storage within Verified Wallet ensures that the credentials remain safe and intact, ready for sharing or verification whenever needed. Disclosing credentials with Verified Wallet is designed with user control and security in mind. Users have the autonomy to decide what information to share and with whom, offering a tailored disclosure experience. The secure sharing feature ensures that the disclosure process is encrypted, maintaining the privacy and integrity of credentials. Moreover, the seamless integration facilitates easy disclosure to various educational and professional platforms, enhancing cross-border mobility. This feature is vital as it bridges the gap between credential holders and verifying entities, making credential disclosure a hassle-free process. Verification is a cornerstone of Verified Wallet, of course. The platform is engineered to provide reliable, quick verification of credentials. This feature not only saves time, but also significantly reduces the effort required in traditional verification processes. The blockchain-backed verification ensures the authenticity and integrity of each credential, providing a trustworthy verification experience. This robust verification process is what sets Verified Wallet apart, offering a reliable solution to both credential holders and verifying entities, and establishing a foundation of trust in the digital credentialing ecosystem. In summary, Verified Wallet by Sertifier is a robust solution that streamlines the management, sharing, and verification of digital credentials, fostering cross-border mobility. By leveraging the Velocity Network Foundation's infrastructure, we have created a secure and verifiable ecosystem for digital credentials. We invite you to explore the seamless experience that Verified Wallet offers. Thank you for your time today. Your insights and feedback are invaluable as we continue to enhance our platform to serve the global community better. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Deb Everhart, Chief Strategy Officer at Credential Engine. I'm going to give you a quick introduction to how you can make your credentials meaningful and relevant using linked open data. Credential Engine is a nonprofit organization, and we provide linked open data infrastructure for connecting credentials, skills, and jobs in meaningful ways. We do three things. We advocate for credential and skill transparency. We provide a schema, the Credential Transparency Description Language, or CTDL, that describes credentials, skills, and jobs and the connections among them. And we provide a public registry for everyone to use CTDL data collaboratively. And why do we do this? Because the number and types of credentials are growing faster than anyone's ability to make sense of them. Our research has identified over 1 million credentials offered in the US. And how can anyone understand how to navigate among that many different diverse credentials? It's a dynamic marketplace where these credentials vary greatly in content, quality, and value. And it's often unclear whether credentials align to jobs or represent relevant skills. Credential Engine's technologies can help provide better transparency, and credentials can be more meaningful and valuable if they use open, interoperable data to describe their many different characteristics. Because without reliable, transparent data inside credentials, we face some pretty fundamental problems. Since a lot of credentials have similar names, how do I even know whether this credential is the one I think it is? How do I know whether this credential represents strong assessments or up-to-date learning and other quality factors? How do I know if this credential represents the skills for a particular job or whether it's related to other credentials that are useful for a job? Credential Engine's freely available technology components for credential and skill transparency help address these questions. Our openly licensed metadata schema, the CTDL, gives us all a common schema for defining over 1,000 characteristics of credentials, skills, and jobs. CTDL is human and machine readable, can be used by people and systems for understanding and comparing credentials based on characteristics like their cost, quality assurance, connections to other credentials, occupational alignment, skills, employment and earning outcomes, and a lot more. The Credential Registry provides a public source of data in CTDL. The registry uses globally unique identifiers, or CTIDs, for each credential, organization, skill, and other data components. So these unique identifiers can be really valuable for organizing and managing data about credentials and skills from different sources. This fits in with Velocity's layers of interoperability because CTDL provides a data layer defining credentials, skills, and jobs. We refer to this as semantic interoperability because it enables credentials to be meaningfully interpreted across different systems and contexts. Velocity credentials are more valuable when they communicate clear, actionable, relevant information. Because with CTDL inside Velocity credentials, the credentials link to rich data using open standards. That data is humanly readable and machine actionable across different types of systems. The credentials from diverse sources can be meaningfully compared, curated, and combined. And then learners, workers, educators, employers are all empowered with the context they need to make informed decisions about education and career pathways. So how does this work? Credentials on the Velocity network contain CTDL that adds a semantic interoperability layer for the meaning of the credential. This is accomplished through a simple link, and that link goes to rich data in the registry using the globally unique CTID identifier. This link is human and machine readable. Here's a concrete example of CTDL data for a credential in the registry. That you can see here a straightforward, humanly readable set of web links using CTDL. And you can see that this credential has many different types of data, including competencies, quality assurance, costs, locations, and occupational alignments. When you look inside that same credential, you see the CTDL structured data as a machine actionable metadata structure. Then both people and systems have transparent access to meaningful, relevant information about the credential that can be used in many different contexts. Because meaningful credentials are valuable credentials, and they can open up more opportunities for the people who hold them. Our mission is to map the credential and skills landscape with clear and consistent information, empowering people to make sense of credentials and find the pathways that are best for them. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Alex, and I'm part of Beyond Academics, and we are excited to be a part of the Velocity event and part of the educational cluster. And today, I want to have a conversation with you about why it's so important for higher ed to really modernize. And how does verifiable credentials play a role in that? So when we think about modernizing higher ed, there are a few shifts that we really need to focus on. And the first shift is that we are moving towards a more non-traditional lifelong learning model. And what that means is that we will start to wear more of a future of work lens. And what does that mean? It means that technology is advancing at 400 times a blink of an eye. If you even think about the way that we interact with data, it is processing information and into intelligence at 400 times a blink of an eye. Well, when we think about future of work, how does technology change work? And when work changes, how does people who work there have to change? That's where lifelong learning is going to become a bigger role in higher ed. So while we think about the traditional students that come in from high school and they graduate from 18 to 22 or so, we're starting to see a more non-traditional set of folks who are needing to be reskilled. And we will start to see that in a lifelong learning model. And we'll see that as one of the big shifts. The next shift is that we currently are very much on a earn it model when we should be in a learn it model. And when we think about the earn it model, we earn a degree, we earn grades, we earn seat time. All those things are things that we've always just become accustomed to, but we don't necessarily know if the person has learned what they're being taught. Sure, people have memorized grades, memorized answers, memorized things. I think that is just part of the conversation we need to have. We need to shift ourselves to a learn it model. And a learn it model focuses on the competency. What has this person learned? And this is where verified credentials and stuff will become a critical part of what we do. The other element of the shift is what I call fit for purpose. You will start to see that programs and majors and things will be designed for fit for purpose, much more specialized, much more determined by the path of the learner. And we will start to see a more fit for purpose institutions. That's because in the future of work, in the lifelong learning model, in the earn it versus learn it ecosystem where we start focusing on the learn it, you will start to see a fit for purpose in the way that we engage the learner. And the last shift is what we call timeless, meaning education will be timeless. President LeBlanc from Southern New Hampshire, he says time is the enemy of the poor. And what he means by that is when we put time constraints on students, on people who may not be able to get to class on time, or people that may have to take 2 buses and trains to get somewhere, that we put a hardship on them. And that when we put time frames, we are actually providing a social disadvantage to the people that really need to learn. So you will start to see a shift in more asynchronous courses, more courses that students will learn as they are able to and be able to really drive it from all those elements. So those are the shifts that we will see in higher ed. The next, we have to focus on what is the future of students? What are their needs? How do we give them student agency? How do we start driving the design of their pathway for what they need? And when we think about how they actually will go into market and the assets they will bring from an institution, they'll be reflected using a verified credential kind of model. When we think about future of learning, we start to see and talk about the competencies. And that's where verified credentials will also play a role in that, is that you will start to see competency being able to be defined much easier using a credential, using a digital wallet. Today's transcripts, they are not very robust in the way that we actually use them, meaning HR and most institutions use a transcript to verify three things. They verify the degree, they verify grade point average, and the major. And that's it. They can't dive much deeper than that because it's a ledger that was created in a model when we didn't have technology. Yet today, the technologies that we have, we should be able to drill down to the details of a course, understand what those competencies are, so we can understand what did that person learn. And so when we think about that, that's going to be a huge shift. And when we think about the next element of future of, it'll be future of work. What is the work of the future? What needs to be taught for that? How do we define that? What are the micro stackable credentials that would validate that someone understands the needs of future of work? So when we think about future of student, future of learning, and future of work, verifiable credentials play a really critical role in that. Now, let me bring this down into a concept, and it is the three I's. When we think about the three I's, you will see that it is a triangle. It is an educational value chain that we have to understand. I spoke about the future of work and how industries will start to change based on the technology that they have. Well, when we think about that, the first I is industry. And when we think about industry, you will see that industry will start dictating and driving the conversation. They will also dictate what they will need from the people that they hire in market. Next I is the institution. When we think about the I of institution, you will see that they will look at what does industry need and how do we design a fit for purpose curriculum that allows our learners to drive the knowledge that is needed in a future of work ecosystem. And the third I is the individual. This is where the student agency comes. This is where you start driving the conversation. And you will start to see that when we start to think about verified credentials in a digital credentialing model, where you start to see competency within every individual, where we start to have a reputation economy where industry verifies individuals, and that allows that individual then to be associated to an institution, that's when this all will start to work in a much more modern way. Do we have some time to go before we get there? Sure. But the concepts are here. The technology is here. And that's why we're excited about being a part of Velocity, being a part of thinking about the future of, modernizing them. We're also very excited about the educational ecosystem that it will build for us to move forward. And we start to operate in a future of model, you will see the opportunities grow. You will see campuses reimagining. You will see industries start to collaborate in a much different way. So today we have an opportunity to really transform how higher ed will interact with industry, with institutions, with individuals. And we're excited to be a part of Velocity.
Hi again, and for those that were unable to join the first session, my name is Naomi Szekeres, and I'm the head of Global Education Ecosystem Strategy at Velocity Network Foundation. And we really appreciate everyone who's attending this education launch event. And we hope that we've given you a taste of what we are working so hard to collaboratively build. And we've also hope we've motivated you to join and build with us. I'd also like to thank all of the organizations that contributed to making this event possible. And you'll see there on the slide, members of the education cluster listed with asterisks near the names of those organizations that were presenters over the 2 days of our event. And I'd also like to share that the contributions of this group are really not limited to what you saw within the 2 days of this event, where we really appreciate how everyone collaboratively works together to bring their ideas, their expertise, their perspectives, their referrals, their debates. And we learn a lot through debating out the best way to solve for what we want to see in the future. We also have organizations that develop and share code for other members to use and benefit from. And we even have prospect members that have given us, tremendous insights on the landscape of organizations in the space, and also contributed to our understanding of various standards that our members would like to implement and use on Velocity. And that kind of contribution and collaborative effort is invaluable. And that is really the point of Velocity, and why we come together to not only have an infrastructure, but also to govern it in the best possible way collectively so that everyone can benefit. And as our members have demonstrated, the education sector is poised for an incredible transformation, and the world of work is ready to partner with us, as was evident in the first panel. So we hope to see you also become a part of this revolution to unlock our data silos and put important credentialing data in people's hands, in individuals' hands, in trusted, self-sovereign ways, so that people can use them to enable countless opportunities for themselves. And in doing so, also enable opportunities for our organizations, our institutions of higher learning, as we've discussed throughout these 2 days of the event, and also our businesses and our workforce. And I'll even mention that we're not limited to what we know today, because once this data layer is available, there will be countless opportunities for more business models, new business models, artificial intelligence to work on top of the data that we create. And so with that, we're very excited about the future. We hope that you're excited as well. And we hope that this event served to encourage you to join us. And we want to welcome you with whatever it is that you believe best fits and aligns with what we are collectively doing. Please come join us. Thank you so much.